Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the new aircraft 504 Alpha Whiskey, the King Air 260C cargo door training. Pay attention, lots of differences, lots of things to talk about safety. So let's get started. Here we look at the exterior of the door. If you notice, there's actually two doors here. There's a small center door, which we're really familiar with opening up on their other King Airs. And then we have this outer cargo door. So if you follow that line around, you'll turn around and see that it's pretty wide. Okay, when compared to the small center door, the opening gap in the small center door is around 16 inches. So you can see this is a lot bigger than that, which makes it much easier for us to manipulate the loader and the sled system to get the patient in and out of the aircraft. So this is the inside look of the door. Okay, it looks very familiar. We have the center door there with the silver handle and the push button. That hasn't really changed much, but we're not really seeing the 4 greens and a red. There's now 7 reds, 3 on each side of the door and 1 behind that center step. And we'll take a better look at that here in a sec. But also if you look at the blue arrows, it's showing you access points, the yellow and black handles to open up the main cargo door. And I just want to reiterate that you cannot open up the cargo door if the small single door or center door is open. So we can only open up one or the other. We just mentioned about there are no more 7 reds. There's going to be 3 reds. Looks more like an orange in the picture here, where there'll be 3 reds on each side of the door. And then we're going to turn around and have another red behind that center step that's in the center door. We're going to take a look at that here in a sec. So when we go ahead, we open up that center door to check that final 7th red position. And then when you look here, okay, we may feel like the handle's closed properly, but the pin is not in that red circle. So one thing we have to make sure when we lift up that center door, that step that we stand on the way out, we want to make sure before we tell the pilot that 7 reds. Okay, because here, the one on the left, it's not fully closed properly. So it's important for us to check that. So as we mentioned earlier, the small door opens the same as all of the other aircraft. It's pretty, simple process. We mentioned that it's got a very small, cross diameter, less than 16 inches. Still big enough for you guys to get in and carry your equipment in and out. And there's enough space there to get the sled out, but you're going to have to turn it on its side. You can't lay it flat. Obviously, when we have a patient on it, we're going to have to close this door and then open up the cargo door. Okay, and we're going to get to see lots of pictures of that and some video footage. So here we can see the interior view. The center door has been opened to the outside, but if you notice there in the 10 o'clock position and the 5 o'clock position, there's a couple of plastic covers there that we will open up with these little locking key things that you'll see here later on in the picture. That allows us access to open up the cargo door. Again, the center door, the small door, has to be closed first before we can open up the cargo door. So in this particular picture, we got the full cargo door open, and you can see the single small door is being closed. And you can see that on the top right there, that yellow handle with that little access panel door open. That was what was used as one of the mechanisms to open up the cargo door. So again, there's 2 latches or levers, yellow and black, that we open to open up the cargo door, and they can be opened in any order. There's no particular fashion to open them. So here we can see that we've opened up the access doors, and now we have access to the yellow and black handles to open up the cargo door. The one on the left, push the black button, pull the handle, away you go. The one on the right, there's that little yellow orange lever there. We have to lift over that pin, like it says lift hook to release handle. Then we just pull the handle to the left, and then the door will now be available to be open. So both of those access locations have plastic covers with these little small clips on there that must be rotated to open up to gain access to the handle. Once those are popped open, now we have access. We can open up the cargo door by lifting this handle and pushing the black button, where the other one is lift that little orange hook and pull the handle to the left, and then now the door will be able to be open. Here's one of those access points that we talked about earlier. There's that plastic cover. You can already see the clips have been released. Now we can visualize that yellow-black handle. Here we have a closer view of that plastic cover being lifted out of the way. As it says, push to release. That's that black button there. And then just raise the handle. It doesn't take any effort. And then don't forget to do the other one that's down on the bottom by the floor, which we'll get to see here in a little bit. Doesn't take any effort to open up these handles. And here's the other access panel for the cargo door that's down to the floor. Notice again the two small clips. Rotate the clips. We now have access to that lever and that hook to open up the cargo door. Here we get to see again access panel open. There's our hook. Move it to the left, open up the door. So in this picture, the door is fully open. Understand it's close to a 5-foot drop if you were to fall out of the airplane. There are no steps, there are no ladder. The ground will stop you from going any further. So we don't want anybody jumping out onto the ground, because you could roll an ankle, hurt your knee, hurt your back, and so on. Understand, once the cargo door is open, the crews are committed in the positions that they are at. In other words, if you're in the aircraft, the only way to get out is to close the door, open up the center door, climb through the center door, okay, close the center door, and have somebody reopen the cargo door. So it's important that we know that we're committed in the positions we need to be in once that cargo door is open. So you can see in this position here, we have the cargo door open, the loader system is set up, and you can see the picture on the left, okay, that the foot of the upright position, we are not at the correct angle. We need to be at a 90-degree angle. And then you can see on the picture on the right, we have the opposite of effect, where it could slide away. Both ways they could slide. So it's important for us to make sure we have it in an upright position. As you can see in this position, the cargo door is open, loader's extended in the correct position, and we've even added a little level, which is that center picture there, where we have, it's called a line level, and then the bubble needs to be in between the two black lines. That tells us we're 90 degrees or perpendicular to the ground. This is our safe operation of loading the patient onto the loader from the gurney to the sled. Okay, so maybe we have the patient loaded or not, but we decided we want to close the door. We're going to get to watch videos. We've seen videos already about how to close the door, but you can see here, it doesn't really show the height per se, but we can be pulling on the handles, okay, not the ropes or the cables. We pull on the handles gently, and you'll notice to the picture of the right, there's Luke outside assisting the closing of the door. It doesn't take much effort to pull or push, and there's a point there where it becomes neutral. In other words, there's no hydraulics. We need to be really careful when we close the door to avoid slamming. When we slam the door, the emergency oxygen mask will drop out of the ceiling. So you will see when you get to play with this, okay, it's a delicate close, okay, it doesn't require much effort. You can almost just push it closed. Okay, so we closed the cargo door. How do we get back in? Well, we need to open up the center door to climb back in. Then once we close the center door, we can get on our journey and fly to our destination.